Bob Gasky.
Okay, so it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. I'll start with roll call. Councillor Webster,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
Present.
Councillor Humphreys.
Present.
The public members called into the roll call or not, Hope?
Not at this point, not until the planning committee meeting.
Okay, thank you. And I don't see Lane yet. And I'm present, obviously. Declaration of pecuniary interest.
None.
None?
None.
Confirmation of council's agenda. None?
Yeah,
I
that
need a mover and seconder for that, please. I'll get there. Councillor Webster. In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
That's Councillor Humphreys.
Yes, it
Deputy
was.
Mayor
Sorry.
Campbell,
In favor?
and I'm in favor. We have a public meeting for zoning amendment for Mr. Cassidy. Hope, would you, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Yep.
For the public meeting and the declaration of pecuniary interest. Do we have any? Purpose of the amendment, Hope?
The purpose and effect of this amendment is to rezone the severed lands in consent file number B38-20 from residential 1 to limited service residential LSR, so that the entire enlarged lot is in the same zone. All other provisions of the zoning bylaw shall apply.
Reported notice?
Notice of this public meeting was sent to the 17 property owners within the 120-meter radius, in addition to 10 provincial and county agencies. Out of those, we did not receive any written comments back by the prescribed deadline.
Public participation, questions from the public? None? Comments in support? None? Comments in opposition? None being heard? Information, Hope, on who's entitled?
Yeah, so under section 3411 of the Planning Act, if council decides to refuse an application or refuses or neglects to make a decision on an application within 120 days of the municipal clerk receiving the application, the applicant or the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing may appeal to the local planning appeal tribunal by filing an appeal with the clerk of the municipality. Under section 3419, not later than 20 days after giving the notice of passing of the bylaw, the applicant, any person or public body who made oral submissions at the public meeting or made a written submission to council before the bylaw was passed, or the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing may appeal to the local planning appeal tribunal by filing an appeal with the clerk of the municipality.
Council members' comments or questions? Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Through the chair. So we're just simply enlarging a lot. That's basically what's taking place.
Yeah, so the original severance application, rather a consent application, was allowing a portion of the right of way be deeded over to that property owner, but to do so we had to do a zoning amendment because it was zoned residential 1 initially, but to be added to the property owner's property, it has to be rezoned to LSR.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, so the public meeting is now closed and adjourned. The minutes from the previous meeting on December the 15th regular council and December 15th public meeting. Any questions on them? I need a mover and a seconder then to approve them. Councillor Humphries moves it. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Campbell, second. Councillor Webster,
4.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Councillor Humphries.
In favor?
Business arising from the minutes. Any to be heard? None to be heard. Committee reports, Planning Committee, Chair Carew.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, sorry, I was a little bit late. I'll have trouble logging in. Do I have to declare on the first item that I wasn't here? Hope?
You weren't here for the public meeting portion, so when, you don't need to declare for the council meeting, but in the public meeting portion, there was a separate declaration of pecuniary interest and you
Okay.
weren't for that, so you're okay.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. So for the first item, 7.1.1, a consent application B59/20. We'll pass it over to the author, Nikki, for the record, for the report.
Yep, so the recommendation is that the planning committee and council approve consent B5920, William and Darlene Berger, upon the following conditions being met. A registered plan of survey, the applicant must enter into a consent agreement with the township. A lot development fee of $38.24 must be paid for each lot created. Favorable comments from Hydro One, favorable comments from TransCanada Pipeline, favorable comments from the Ministry of Transportation, favorable MDS1 calculations, and zoning bylaw amendment for the severed lands to prohibit livestock. So on the sketch there on page 19, it just shows that part of the property does go through the hydro easement. So that's just why they want those comments. And then obviously it backs up onto TransCanada Highway. So that's why they have the comments for that. If anybody has any questions, just let me know.
Okay. Any questions? Seeing none. Okay, thank you. 7.1.2, building for December. The final year tally of the year was 7.3 million, which is up about 1.2 million from 2019, and it was and higher than 28 value. So it's good for Horton Township that we're actually seeing development, even in a pandemic year, which was good. We've seen 76 permits total, and we've seen 13 new residents, and then also four demolitions. Any questions?
Just good to see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Pass it back to the mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Planning Committee members. The Recreation Committee Chair Humphries.
Thank you, Mayor Bennett. The chair's report on page 26 from our meeting from December 18th. Let me scroll through there. Is there any questions on that? Amanda wrote up the notes for me, so it looks good. Was any questions arising from that or not? Got to get a speed scroller. Again, we just discussed what's on there. The rec agreement with the town has been signed. The limited hall usage, talked with the bar fridge, the shelf life of the alcohol in the bar and the ice for the rink. Again, that'll be discussed in the next item, but that was brought up. The other thing was brought up was the casual rink attendant position for fall of 2020 and the spring of 2021. And I refer back to Hope on that decision. We had another meeting on January the 8th. So just a mini meeting with this COVID. It's hard to get everybody together. So maybe Hope, if you have anything to add to that for me.
I don't have anything to add to this specific report. We'll confer with the next two reports coming up.
Okay. Okay. Any questions on that report? Deputy Mayor Campbell?
Again, through the pandemic, I know it's not the usage we'd like to see for the community center, but certainly appreciate the test station or the COVID review station that's been held down there. And I've heard lots of positive comments of how quick it is and efficient with presenting your health card to book an appointment, and how quick you're in and out. So hopefully we'll see an end to that shortly.
Another thing I'd add comment to that, Deputy Mayor, is if we do get vaccinations, I think it'd be an ideal system to do vaccinations too. The way they could run them through down at the community center would be wonderful when the time comes.
I certainly agree. Again, we're everybody's familiar with where it is now, and again, the kind of puts them mind at ease when somebody pulls a needle out. So
Yeah. Was there any other questions on that report?
no, sure.
Councillor Webster.
Councillor Webster.
Yeah, the participation grant, can you expand on that, what it's about?
It's just sort of like the same thing we did last year with the fitness is docked by your area codes to put in against for the challenge. We were placed pretty high last year but again, our postal codes and numbers, we competed with like the city of Hamilton and Oshawa and that, when Tina did a good job of responding. But I mean, this year is so different. And I know Mayor Bennett has asked her to take over that thing, and it's a grant that shows that the community is involved with getting out and being active. And I know we did very well last year, but there's only so many postal codes in Horton Township to reply to. So, and it's all based on your time. Postal codes like the teams. There's 12 players. They each put in 30 minutes. That's 360 minutes for Horton. So it could be the same person doing exercise every day. Same as last year. Again, we don't know how it's going to work out this year. It's just, they put it up on the chart again to try it. So we'll see what happens.
Very good, thank you.
Any other discussions on that? None heard. Pass it back to Mayor Bennett then, please.
Oh, you got the outdoor rink discussion to do now, Doug.
Just have to find it, Mayor Bennett. I don't think we did any writing on that. So with our meeting, we have to make a decision, and people have been hounding us to see if we're going to go ahead or not. And as you know, the weather hasn't been great. We're doing a rink, and COVID hasn't been much fun either. So I don't know what to say. I feel there's more negatives than positives to having ice this year with the way the season's going. And it's already milder outside now. I know people are looking for a place to get out, but if you saw on the news last night how many people are abusing the surfaces, they recommended 25 people, and with the shutdown, there must have been 150 people on the rinks. And unless you have staff to control that and bylaw officers to control that, then I think we're in for a big kettle of fish. And I know Mayor Bennett and Hope and I met with Amanda last week just to discuss some of the pros and cons, and with Steve Ospienko, our paramedic, we knew we couldn't use the change rooms. There's so many variants, and now with the new big announcement that came down today from Doug Ford, we're got something ahead of us as a battle. So I don't know whether the council has to vote on having a rink or not, but we have the discussions tonight as it's on the agenda. And I don't know whether other people want to add their comments to that. And I'd like to have comments for sure, so we know where everybody stands. Mayor Bennett.
So I've already took and made a few phone calls, but today kind of slammed the door with us without us making any decision whatsoever.
Yeah.
But if you can only have 5 people out on the ice maximum, there's no financial benefit,
No.
or not even any recreational benefit to putting ice in, because it's just the restrictions are too much. And we do have a commitment there that we do have to pay back funds, and the only way forward is to make sure that what funds we do have are used for the previous expenditures, so that we don't have a real big hole to dig out of in order to get back on track once COVID's over.
Yeah.
So I'm not in favor this year of putting a rink in. I could be looking at something like maybe for a couple of times once Renfrew Ice is available, that we could actually sponsor something on Renfrew Ice to give them some time, but to actually put in ice on our surface is a no-go for this year.
Yeah. Thank you, Mayor Bennett. Any other comments? Deputy Mayor Campbell?
And I'm just echoing. I know the heart is in it to give people something to do and give recreation outside. Everybody's getting tired of cabin fever and being inside with COVID. But with Premier Ford's announcement today, again, restricting to 5, the pros versus cons. As much as I like to see, recreation have a bit of a spark there. Unfortunately, the air went out of that balloon at about 1 o'clock. So, we're all trying to be safe, and it's going to take all of everyone participating and keeping their distance to get through this. The faster that happens, the sooner we can get back and enjoy. So I have to agree with the mayor that I think it's pretty much a wash for this season.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Campbell. Any other comments? Councillor Webster, anything to add?
No, I agree, and to echo again that I think that door was slammed or closed today at 1 o'clock. So it's best for the township also.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think from you, Councillor Cleroux.
I think same as Councillor Webster just mentioned.
Yeah. Well, I think it's sort of unanimous after 1 o'clock today that there will be no ice at the community center. So that's all we can do. We're up against powers to be are a lot more qualified about health than we are. So again, I don't know what else we can add to that. It's a sad year for a lot of things, but for safety and the regulations in Horton Township, keep people safe is important too. So if there was nothing, we're going to speak about, just get back on track here. So we just get back on about, since I don't know how we're going to work if we don't have ice, how we're going to have a casual rink attendant. It's no fault of the township by not having, it's beyond us. So whether we can apply for funding for that position through COVID resources or not, I do not know. It's just a question I want to throw out to people. So Any concerns about that? Any more information on that, Hope?
So the rink attendant position is actually budgeted through our 2020 and 2021 budget.
Yeah.
In years past, so we have never accessed funding for the position.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, or the 2 seasons, I guess, when the ice was in the outdoor rink, it had been passed by council 2 resolutions to, instead of hiring a rink attendant, that those funds would be put toward the hoedown debt. As you can see in my report, as well as the additional resolutions that I do refer to. I just went ahead knowing the outcome that was likely to happen with our rink this year as well. But in turn, this time I'm actually recommending that the rink attendant wages be put towards the Horton Ladies catering money that they had donated to help the hoedown move forward, which was actually supposed to be paid back by fundraising in 2020. So that's kind of a convoluted resolution here, but at the end of it, that's my recommendation, is to put the rink attendant wages, which is roughly estimated at about $8,600, to be put towards the $10,000 that the ladies catering had donated.
Yeah. That's my understanding, is that of your figures there too, that would be put towards the ladies catering of the community center. So Mayor Bennett.
Just want to change one word there. But when Hope was speaking, she said it was donated money. It was loan money. It wasn't a donation. That's why it has to be paid back. It's because we borrowed it under the assumption that it would be paid back by the end of 2021, I believe. So
Yes, at the end of 2020, actually. So yes, I do apologize.
Okay.
It wasn't a donation, it was a loan.
okay, there.
Perfect.
Okay. So is there anything else we have to discuss about? I guess it's pretty well covered for rink, for attendance, for paying back a loan from the wages of the casual rink attendants. I gotta get myself a third computer.
Just got to get rid of this COVID, and then we don't need computers.
That's right, yeah.
Chair Humphreys, Councillor Claroux had his hand up.
Oh, okay, sorry, Councillor Carew.
I just want to confirm, so this, the rink attendant money would fall out of the 2021 budget year. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Yes. It was set aside, say we didn't hire anybody last year, the volunteers took over to do it for the hoedown debt. So
Yeah.
it was actually no staff hired for last season.
That's correct.
And, yeah,
But for this year, would be 2021 budget year, that if we were open the rink, we would see that money go towards you put it here, it would be to offset the loan as you provided.
Yes.
Is that a correct statement?
I'd say it was correct. With the loan, they borrowed money from the ladies catering for $10,000.
Yes.
And then they put that wages from the tenant towards that loan and left with a shortfall of $1,400 to finish that up, between $1,200 and $1,400 to pay back. But with no fundraising this year, it's been really, they haven't raised a penny really. The last thing that was held there was the carnival. There's been no dances and there's no fundraising. So it's the money's been set aside. And again, we set aside money for our new fridges, been set aside in the budget, repointing of the structures and stuff like that. So it was in the budget and it's going to be used towards
Just
the
correct, but just correction if you can, sorry. But right now, this is 21 budget year, not, because
Yeah.
the 20, is that correct? Because 2020 budget,
No,
Huh?
the funds are coming from the 2020 budget. The 2021 budget has not even been passed yet. So the funds are actually coming, so it's always kind of a bit of a year behind, but it's been budgeted for in 2020 that has not been used, that it will be put towards that amount. It's a little bit confusing, but that's the way it is.
it's a seasonal justification from like December to end of March. So it's a sort of 6 weeks in 1 year and 12 or 15 weeks in the next year. So it's sort of hard, but it was budgeted out of 2020. So
So we have, so just hope, so we have incurred no cost in that line item for 2020 then? Is that a fair statement?
For the rink attendant, no,
Yeah.
there would have been no costs incurred that we had originally budgeted for. And that's why the recommendation is to put those funds. Sorry, Mayor Bennett had put his hand up.
Yeah, but that's not true, Hope. We have from January 1 last year through till the middle of March, that them funds have already been earned out of.
That's what I,
Based on the
Like
prior,
Like the rink was functional for that period of time, and that's where them funds are coming from.
yeah, like, wouldn't this be 21 year budget? Because like, say if we did have a rink attendant, their wages would come out of 2020.
No. It's the way it's set up, is that the funds paid out to the volunteers is from January 1 of 2020 till December 31st of 2020. And that's what Hope is giving you the figures for. Because we don't see them monthly or bi-monthly or anything, them figures until the end of the year. So it's December 31st figures that you're seeing for 2020 is the money that she is, that Hope is talking about.
that's correct, yeah.
So it's
So-
already money earned. It's not, we're not just moving taxpayers' dollars around if that's where you're going, Lee.
Yeah, the only thing I was getting at, if we're not incurring that expense in 21 with having the rink open, my recommendation would be put it towards our cost containment for, because there is going to be losses with COVID, right? And we haven't really got into the budget yet, versus providing it to another, because the cost, like, if we didn't have the this debt, and if we didn't hire someone, that money would stay into the general budget, right? It wouldn't be moved to another area.
Technically, yeah, like we would decipher that at year end with our surplus deficit policy. This is why I'm bringing it forward to council as per recommendation to have a resolution to oversee that. But then when we get into discussion for 2021, we can have that discussion about the expense for the rink attendant, so that then we know what we're doing with it for the following year, right? So I know what you're saying, Councillor Cleroux, but this is why I wrote the report to kind of supersede the policy for the surplus, the year-end surplus deficit, so that we can put these funds from the rink attendant wages that were not utilized towards the debt that has been incurred.
Whoa. The funds were utilized. The volunteers actually did the rink from December 31st, or January 1 through to the middle of March. That the volunteers actually supplied the ice to down there. So them funds are used. They're not, you're not going to get volunteers to do what Lane's asked them to do, because that's not fair. We have that was, them funds were down there to utilize it. In the 2021 budget, we still have to look at having some kind of figure in there from it could be as early as November, because we've actually had ice back in November. From November to December 31st needs to be in the 2021 budget. But
Yeah,
all
those discussions happen at
all them funds right now have been earned by the volunteers for looking after that ice last spring.
Yeah, I just, if I could, I'm just a little confused with. So back in, like, if last year we passed a resolution that instead of hiring rink attendant, it'd be like, it was in the 21 year, right?
No.
That instead of hiring rink attendant, we would have. it'd be-
Back last year, you passed a resolution for 2020.
2020.
That's,
Exactly.
that's the funds that Hope are talking about are available to pay back the catering committee.
Yes, but so just for one more correction. So say if we didn't have this, right? And we would have hired a living attendant in 2020, right?
Yeah.
We would have paid we would have paid in that position in 2020 funds.
You would have paid, that's right. And you're still doing that.
So,
You're still using last year's funds to pay it. Because that's not tallied off, and it's been that way since for Jen set that up at least 6 or 7 years ago.
so starting right now, for example.
Yeah.
So right now, so say if we hire a rink attendant, we did hire a rink attendant, and their paycheck like in 2 weeks would come out of 2022 or come out of 21 year.
It's different because it's a volunteer basis, and I've argued this 50 times and never got anywhere, but totally understand where it was coming from. That if it's a staff position or somebody the township's paying, it comes out bi-weekly or weekly, depending on how the pays go. But because it's a volunteer's position, it's only charged to the township budget at the end of that fiscal year. There is no bi-weekly, there is no monthly.
Okay, so
coming out.
So this report is saying, so this report is based on the 2020 funds then. So we still have, okay.
Yeah.
It's very convoluted. Was there any other things brought up for rec? If not, I'll turn the meeting back over to Mayor Bennett.
Thank you. Community committees. The first one, 7.4.1, Renfrew Senior Home Support. Councillor Webster is enjoying his retirement from the committee. And Councillor Humphreys actually encountered his first committee meeting back in, I guess it was late December, right, Doug?
Yeah, December 17th.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and report on that then, please?
Yeah, it's just, I was sort of new to the job here. So we had a meeting. I met pretty well everybody was on board, representatives from Admiston, Horton, Renfrew, and Dennis Harrington chaired the meeting. And we were talking about opening the Golden Age Activity Center in January. That's not going to happen. There's also doing a job interview for a part-time employee, about 21 hours a week. And there's some good candidates coming up for that. And the other thing was, say we're going to have a Zoom meeting the next 90 days. It's not a whole lot going on because the Golden Age Center is closed. They're still keeping a front with Dennis is up from Aaron Prairie. He's running the both Aaron Prairie and Renfrew Home Support, and with his help. And so anyway, there's that's all to report really, because there's nothing really going on. But it was good to sit in and meet the other committee members, and I know some of them, and I know, and it's nice to get around and know more people. So I have an idea what transpires of that. So it should be very interesting going forward into the good year of 2021. So thank you, Mayor Bennett.
Just a quick, thank you, Councillor Humphreys. Just a quick update to keep you informed as well as council. We did interview for a new person to look after the programming of the Golden Age Activity Center yesterday at noon. We had an excellent candidate come forward, and there is an offer being made to fill that position. The committee is not informed of that yet, other than to know we were doing an interview if the applicant was available. And we are looking for a soft start of trying to put something together for the end of March to get the door back open. But with what came down, that was yesterday, and today is a whole different day. So we'll have to see where the province goes, but we are going to go ahead with the hiring because the lady that is looking at the job needs some education on what it really entails as we move forward. Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan, Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Thank you, Mayor Bennett. At this time, I do not have anything to add. I don't know if Hope has heard any correspondence or any water cooler discussion.
There hasn't been anything additional to the last time we discussed at council. However, due to COVID, they did extend the deadline for the community and safety wellbeing plan to be, instead of January, it is now July. So that's good news. We have a little bit more time.
Thank you, Hope.
So just for a little bit of information, we do need to have a meeting, Glenn, just have for you to sit down with me and make sure that we can fulfill our commitments as far as the next deadline. It may get extended, but we don't know that. So if I'll give you a call and we'll see if we can meet up and decide how we can move forward.
Absolutely.
I would like to actually see it become part of the county plan instead of the township plan, but I don't know whether that's going to go anywhere or not, but if there's going to be an attempt to try and get it there. But I do need to speak to you so you know what's happening.
Okay.
Health Service Village, I do have some news. We do have a new chair, Michael Dunna, who has accepted the position as chair. Peter has stepped down out of, Peter Emo has stepped down out of chair to vice chair. And Michael will be picking up the ball and giving us some guidance of where it's going to go. But as I've mentioned before, the Health Service Village has fulfilled its commitment of the doctors from the original motion brought forward. And we do need to discuss if we're going any further or what we might be doing for funding as we move forward, because the funding is a big issue. It's we know as a small municipality, we're going to struggle coming out of this, and we got so many people that we need to help in this municipality that we need to have all the funding partners that we can to help us out with the Health Service Village, and we hope that at the next meeting we can come up with a plan how that can move forward, and at that time we'll bring it back to council. We do have a commitment right now to 2023, I believe, which actually is 2024 budget for the Health Service Village. So if there's anything that I can bring forward at some time that needs to be brought forward pretty quickly, I may call a meeting to just deal with that. Chamber of Commerce, Councillor Humphries.
Yes, Mayor Bennett, there was no meeting until next Tuesday, but we've had letters to support the Downtown Business Association with letters to MPP John Yakubuski, and also letters sent to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce trying to level the playing field with the big box stores. And so that's been going on for since Boxing Day. And so we'll have follow up with a meeting next Tuesday morning. So anyway, that was just letters of support for the downtown merchants wanting to be on the same playing field as the big box stores. And now I think it's going to take another kick in the teeth. Thank you.
Thank you. County Council, I do have some good news from County Council. But our warden actually was acclaimed as the chair of the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus this week. So that's very good news for us. We do have an ear that can listen to what the municipalities in Renfrew County have to say. Not that it hasn't been listened to, but it's certainly a very strong voice sitting there at the Eastern Ontario's Warden Caucus to help us through some of this. And we do have budget deliberations next week at county. on Monday and Tuesday, I believe it is. And the virtuals of anybody has anything that they would like to bring forward that we need to put in, try and get into the county budget, please bring it forward to Hope, and then we'll bring it forward from there. I do believe our small businesses in Horton that need as much help as we can, and definitely the agriculture needs as much help as we can. We obviously need to look at upper tiers to help us get that. So we need to be strong and start at the next tier up and work our way from there to see if we can get some kind of financial support to help them get fired back up again. So I will be bringing that forward, but any help that you can actually bring out that I can present to them, I will do that. That's about all I have for County Council. Information correspondence, page 32. And we'll go ahead with Deputy Mayor Campbell. He's been sitting there not saying too much. So.
Just getting geared up. On page 5, I guess the AOR's letter. I guess congratulations goes out on behalf of the Association of Ontario Road Supervisors, and congratulate Adam Knapp for recent certified road supervisor certification. That's a huge feather in his cap, and I was very pleased to read that in the correspondence. My screen just went blank, so unfortunately, when you're going to get cut off, or I'm going to start the new year out with being a little more quiet unless this comes back up. So I'll go with that and say congratulations to Adam. Again, well done. More weapons that man has when he's out on the battlefield of the township roads, the better it is. And it's good to see one of our own employees being recognized for that certification.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Campbell. Councillor Webster.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to echo that. Also, Adam, congratulations on that achievement of being CRS certified now. The other one was page 39 to our CAO and treasurer. Congratulations for your 15 years being involved with the Renfrew County Clerks and Treasuries Association letter. So congratulations there. Thank you.
Councillor Humphreys.
Well, since Deputy Mayor Campbell took, congratulations to Adam Knapp, and Councillor Webster took for Hope, and Natalie, I was just looking at page 9 about buying local, supporting local, and it's a very good article of how we can do stuff. And the amount of money, like $1, it's unbelievable, that whole chart they had on page 9, how to do that. Like, yes, we're trying to support our local restaurants by eating out one day a week, and we're trying to buy our stuff locally at Castle and Home Hardware. And so it's going to be an uphill battle now for the next probably 28 days. So still get on the phone. They still do curbside, and buying local means everything from buying apples from McLaren's or McGregor's, or, and buying local beef, and supporting our local people as much as we can. So that's the only 3 things on my list too, Mayor Bennett. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Carew.
Yeah, most of them have been taken, other than the number 5, the Ottawa Valley Waste. It's an Ottawa Valley business news. Sorry if I can get it. Sorry. I had it out. It was just the in there it was showing the recognizing the 2 employees just the number of years service for Nikki and 3 firefighters. It's nice to see that on paper recognizing the businesses and the municipalities around the area. It's always a good read. And that's it for myself.
Thank you, Councillor Karim. I have a couple things I want to mention. Obviously, the MO 2021 conference. If anybody's interested, please put your name forward so that we do have representation. I myself would have difficulty doing that unless something changes drastically that I do have to lock the door. But the way it is right now, if anybody does have the opportunity, I would certainly like representation there, and maybe we could share a couple of things on the conference, but then we have to pay double, right? Yeah, so it's obviously almost a commitment of one individual, and that makes it tough sometimes. The other thing I have is a community and safety well-being plan update. Please keep up on that, because now we're into a 6-month timetable that we need to have something completely done unless they extend the date again, but we need to be ready to make sure that, and we do need council representation on that board in order to Hope has lots on her plate, so the second set of years is great to be there to look after that. The other thing I want to say, as a mayor, I'm very proud of our staff. It's very nice to see the experience we actually have here, and it's very nice just to make the one phone call, knowing that the information that's coming back to you is 99% correct, given the circumstances, and it's very professional. So I want to thank staff for being there, and obviously as the education grows, the more support the council has to make the decisions for the town. Thank you for that. Action correspondence, high-speed internet support on page 33. Any comments on that? Okay, so Councillor Humphries.
Yeah, I felt like all the councillors responded to Jason, and he was very pleased, and individually and as a group, we did some email. I was on a letter to him today, and he replied back saying it'd be so nice to get support from Horton and all the councillors and mayor, that we're all in the same playing field. So I think we got to move forward with this high-speed internet, especially now. We're going to need it more than ever with schooling, with businesses and everything else. So I think we got to put the pressure on now.
And I totally agree with what you're saying, Councillor Humphries. The only thing I would like to make sure that we are is I would like the eyes taken out of it and everybody respond. We as council have put to it, so that the comments going to the ratepayers is always a unified message.
Yeah.
And if we're careful at doing that, then the public knows that we're doing everything we can, and we're in agreement. We may not always be in agreement, but we're in agreement enough to move the project ahead. So I would ask to just watch our wording and how we say stuff to make sure that we're a team. There is a whole pile of stuff going on, and there is money out there, but unfortunately, no matter what avenue it is, other than speaking to Cogeco, we have to rely on other players out there to actually help us bring it into this township. And that seems to move slow sometimes. That you actually get the responses and get the money actually out there, that it's working for the municipalities. And I would hope that sometime by summertime, we can say that we actually have some studies and influence of that money filtering back into the township of Horton. So we do have something concrete to say that in 24 months and 36 months, we're going to have this much of the township service. But we don't even know that right now, because we have to wait for the EORN to come back and say, this is the funds we have to put into Renfrew County, and this is how much is directed to your route. So it's going to take a little while to get there, but it is happening, and we certainly know, because of the health issues and the need for internet now, that the Ontario government and the federal government need to move more quickly. It's just not talk anymore. And we do have, as Lane mentioned in his letter, we do have the 3 satellite agencies that may be able to help us a little bit quicker than the land service in order to get better service within the municipality. Any other comments on that? None? So we're down to the bylaws. The first bylaw is 2021-01, the borrowing bylaw. Hope, please.
I have a resolution to pass them all together. Did you want me to explain what each one is, or do you want to pass them separately? That's up.
Maybe I'll just ask generally if council has anyone that they have a question on them. We can just quickly go through them then. So all the bylaws from 9.1 to 9.7 are all going to be grouped. Is there any of them bylaws from 9.1 to 9.8 that is actually something you would like to speak on before we group them together? Councillor Carew.
Yeah, just was 9.5. I won't be able to. So, so maybe if you take that one out.
Sure, I can do that. I'll put that separately.
Okay, so you want to take it from there then, Hope? No, there's no other, any other discussion? None? Okay. Oh, Deputy Mayor Campbell.
I think I'm fine with it at 9.8 on page 47. I just didn't know, it's kind of a double-edged sword, whether we're, traffic act versus what our township would like to see. I don't know if there's anyone else would have discussion on that, or is it, I'm sure everybody has taken time to read it. It's the only one I didn't contact staff to see what neighboring municipalities were looking at. So.
Okay, so I did have my budget meeting, I did have my meeting with operations a few hours back. So it is fresh in my mind, so I can remember what's going down. But what's in this bylaw is actually Ontario law. We're obligated to sign it. We don't have much room, and I did talk to Adam about it. That it's pretty well what the province says that, and it's not individual. It's a province law. It's not a municipal law. Like at one point back, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years ago, they asked us to actually tell them that whether they could be on the road or not, which become a huge policing issue because they didn't know whether they could be out there stopping the people on your municipality road or what they should do as far as enforcement goes. So it looks like this bylaw is a general bylaw, and Hope can correct me, but it's by the province is going to has said this is what we're going to allow in the province of Ontario. Councillor Humphries.
Yeah, just on 2021-07, the authorization of the assumption of land for public highway. So that's there's two spots that the township and Mr. Scouten is working on, Pinnacle Road and Thompson Road.
Yes, and there's also one on River Road that is Mr. Scoutons too.
Okay,
But so, and that one happens to be on a county road, that's why it's not
okay,
here. But he has 3 parcels that he actually is severing out of. He'll be moving land around a little bit to make better access and whatever. And
Yeah.
that's what the assumption of land is.
Yeah.
Is about.
so is it gonna be come off the township road, or is he gonna do, add to, are we gonna donate some property, make better entrances and stuff?
I believe Thompson Road one's a slippy slope one, is that, am I
Yeah.
correct, Phil?
Yeah,
Okay. Basically what it is to allow for, Pinnacle Road is just access, right?
okay,
There's actually, so when the surveys were done for the severed lots, the severances, there was a notice, a strip of land on Pinnacle and Thompson that were the traveled portion of the road that were not under the Township of Horton's title. So these bylaws are just to rectify that, just kind of a cleanup exercise to make sure that those lands are deeded to the proper owner.
And the one on the River Road, just so you're aware, is actually one access for the retained portion and the 2 lots. They all have to only have one entrance coming out onto the River Road. So all 3 lots are off the one entrance on River Road. And they did write in this one because we've run into this trouble before in the history of Horton where we have joint ones and then the landowners have come back and on the corner of Humphreys Road, we actually had one access point off Humphreys Road to them 2 lots on the corner. The landowners decided they didn't want it that way, but in the writing for River Road, this time the county's put in there that there is no coming back to the table to get another access. That the access is the only way the lots can be sold. So that's the way it is.
thank you.
Okay, so with the exception of 9.5 or 2021-05, is there any more discussion on any of them? Okay, so do you want me to read them all out, Hope, or?
I can go ahead and read out the recommendation if you prefer. Yeah.
There's no pay raise. Go ahead.
That council enact the following bylaws: 2020-01 borrowing bylaw, 2021-02 interim taxes 2021, 2021-03 appoint auditor, 2021-04 livestock valuer, 2021-06 assumption of lands Thompson Road, 2021-07 assumption of lands Pinnacle Road, and 2021-08 off-road vehicle bylaw.
Do I have a mover for all them bylaws, please? Councillor Webster, second. Deputy Mayor Campbell. Any questions? Councillor Webster,
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor.
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor?
Councillor Carew,
In favor.
and I'm in favor.
That council,
Go ahead.
that council enact bylaw number 2021-05 zoning bylaw amendment Cassidy.
Do I have a mover? Councillor Humphreys. Seconder? Councillor Webster? Discussion? Councillor Webster,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys, Councillor Campbell, no, Deputy Mayor Campbell, I screwed it up.
In favor?
And I'm in favor. Notice to file motion for next council meeting. None being heard. Council and staff members' concerns. Councilor Webster.
Well, I'm glad as council and staff recommendation that we have closed the office by appointment only, and I think that's a big step. And obviously, we're seeing the speech from today that that's what we'll come back to, but I'm glad that we, as council and staff, recommended that we did do that early on to keep our bubble tight. Thank you.
Any other council members' concerns? Okay, so I do want to say that I really feel that our township has listened well to what's going on, and our staff has looked after as well as far as putting a plan together that is safe. And our facilities are safe to the public. Maybe not be able to use them, but they are safe as far as the taxpayer dollars being looked after. So thank you to staff for everything you do to actually make sure that all that is adhered to. And it's very nice not to have fingers pointed that you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. The fingers are being pointed because obviously there's issues that we're never going to satisfy some people with their comments, but we try our very best, and staff does their very best to keep them satisfied before they approach us. So thank you. Motion for reconsideration. This one staff don't listen to. It's still on. No motions for reconsideration. Resolutions.
That the planning committee and council approve consent B59-20 William and Darlene Berger upon the following conditions being met. A registered plan of survey. Applicant must enter into consent agreement with the township. A lot development fee must be paid of $3,824. Favorable comments from Hydro One Networks. Favorable comments from TransCanada. Favorable comments from the Ministry of Transportation. Favorable MDS 1 calculations, and as well as a zoning bylaw amendment for the severed lands to prohibit livestock.
I need a mover. Deputy Mayor Campbell. Second, Councillor Humphreys. Any discussion on this one? Councillor Webster.
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys.
In favor?
Councillor Carew.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Carried.
That council accept the December 2020 building report as information.
I need a mover. Councillor Carew, second by Councillor Humphreys. Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor?
Councillor Carew.
In favor.
Councillor Humphreys.
In favor?
Councillor Webster.
In favor?
And I'm in favor. Carried.
That council accept the Recreation Committee Chair's report for December 18th, 2020 as information.
Need a mover. Councillor Humphreys, second by Councillor Webster. Councillor Carew.
In favor.
Councillor Humphreys.
In favor?
Councillor Webster.
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor?
And I'm in favor. Carried.
That council agree to close the outdoor rink facility for the 2021 season.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Campbell. Second by Councillor Humphreys. Councillor Webster.
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys.
In favor?
Councillor Carew.
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Carried.
That this recommendation further amends the scope of Resolution 2018-91, which states that any shortfalls from the 2018 Horton Festival Business Plan, Horton Hoedown, be paid from the 2018 Working Fund Reserves, and that the funds would be returned to the Working Fund Reserves in 2019 through fundraising by the Recreation Committee. And that this recommendation further amends the scope of resolution number 2019-23, which states that any shortfalls from the 2019 Horton Hoedown proposal be paid from the recreation building reserves, and that the funds would be returned to the recreation building reserve in 2020 through fundraising by the Horton Hoedown Committee. And that resolution 2019-26 states that $10,000 from the ladies catering budget be put toward the 2018 Hoedown Festival deficit and to be subsequently returned by fundraising by the Horton Hoedown Committee in 2020. And that council previously agreed by resolution 2019-26 to not hire a casual rink attendant for the 2019 season. And the work was undertaken by recreation volunteers so that the wages would be put towards the Hoedown's 2018 incurred deficit. And further, that there remains to be a deficit from 2018 to be funded, as well as a balance owing of $10,000 to the ladies catering group. Be it resolved that council agreed to not hire a casual rink attendant for the 2021 season, and be it further resolved that the 2021 casual rink attendant wages be put towards the amount owed back by the Hoedown Committee to the Horton Ladies Catering budget in 2020.
I need a mover and seconder first, please. Councillor Humphries, Councillor Webster. Hope I got asked about the last sentence there. Can you repeat that again, please? Of the years?
Be it further, the very last sentence, be it further resolved that the 2020-2021 casual rink attendant wages be put towards the amount owed back by the Hoedown Committee to the Horton Ladies Catering budget in 2020.
Okay, but that's not the case, right?
So it's
The case is the funds are already 2020, not, they have nothing to do with 2021.
that, yeah, but it's just the actual season itself. It doesn't refer to the budget. It's just that the funds from 2020 be put back that were to be paid back in 2020 as well. So the 2021 portion, it just refers to the season, the rink season,
Okay,
which is right now. Yeah.
Councillor Carew.
Just one more question. So for the last resolution, on page 31, it says that to be, that the 2020 rink attendant wage be put towards the Horton Hoedown. So is this, if you can correct me, this amendment to that, or is it just, was the 2020, was it actually 19 and 20 year?
Yeah, you're in that.
I gotta find
No.
that. Sorry.
No, it's 2020 because at December 31st, 19, we got paid out for the spring and the fall of 19. So the 2020 is last spring, from January 1st to the middle of March when we closed it down.
I need a second computer just like the rest of council because I seem to have misplaced my page number that have the resolutions on it.
Hey, I got a refurbished one that the township give me and I can go get the one I want.
Okay. You're on a budget though, you gotta watch. What Mayor Bennett said is correct, but I don't have a copy of that resolution right in front of me. Oh.
Yeah, the only other question, because that like, am I wrong in that resolution would have been probably in December or November of 19, and they're saying that when we carried that resolution that 2020, so it would have been paid out of 2020. I'm not sure if I'm totally missing something here, or
Yeah, so we definitely brought that forward in December of 2019.
and we committed 2020 funds.
It's my interpretation that they were 2019 funds.
Okay.
Okay, so I disagree with the, well, the The issue is here, they had that if it would have been an employee doing the job, they would have got paid bi-weekly. And it would have stayed in the year that they got paid for them.
In 2020.
Because it's a one payment, one shot deal to the volunteers as fundraising funds. It only got paid once. And it just stayed there and accumulated till the end of the year.
Yes, so in that, so in December of 19, we passed a resolution that not to hire a tenant, right?
That's correct.
So if we would have hired one, it would have been in 2020 budget year from January 1st until the end of the ice season, what it came out of 2020 budget, right? We stated here not to hire one, but we committed 2020's budget to be put towards the hoedown. So what we're passing right now, haven't we already committed 2020 budget? Or this, the actual 20, we're actually committing 2020, like this year's
No,
budget.
2021 budget is not even struck yet, right?
I understand that, but
The money that Hope is talking about right now is from spring of 2020. Is it not, Hope? From January 1st to middle of March when it was shut down. It's the funds that you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So normally what we do at year end would be through our surplus deficit policy, whether or not we spent those funds, depending on what the policy states, we'd roll that money back into somewhere else where it's supposed to go, versus this report bringing forward that we're putting those funds towards the ladies catering loan for the hoedown. And that's been my interpretation for the last 3 years that we've done this.
Yeah. Councillor Webster.
Yeah, so my recollection or Cole's notes is in 2018, we started this process and we said the 2019 season will be paid off at the end of the year of 19. And then at the end of the 19, this resolution on page 31, what we said that we would do the 20 season at the end of 2020. And now this new recommendation is to put it forward to the 19th season, and then 2020 would be, we're going to pay back to the ladies. Am I correct in that, saying that? Because we've done it twice, and this is the third one that's come forward tonight.
We've done it a number of times, Tom. By the years you're talking about, it did directly go to the hoedown, but it had been done numerous years before that.
Right, but I'm saying within this council,
Yep.
18, 19, and then this is the third one, 20.
That's right. 18, 19, and 20 are all funds trying to pay down the hoedown.
Right, and all we're doing is deferring the 21 is to the ladies. That's the only difference.
No, 2020 is going to the ladies, right?
That's right. That's what it means.
Yeah, okay.
but so in 2020, if we work backwards, 2020, right, we had volunteers not a paid employee. In 2019, like, so from January 1st, right, because we fall out of that budget year.
Yeah.
We had a volunteer, or do we have?
We had volunteers 18, 19, and 20.
And are you sure in 18? Because the hoedown was in 18, so we wouldn't have.
Yeah, we had to raise funds, so it started early that year. I think if I go down and check the book, we had ice in by first week, latest second week of December.
Yeah, there was no rink attendant hired position in 2018, in the 2018 year.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, I have a mover and a seconder. Do I have a Councillor Webster,
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor?
and I'm in favor.
That council accept the CAO clerk's information memo for January 12th, 2021.
I have a mover. Deputy Mayor Campbell, second by Councillor Humphreys. Councillor Webster, oh, sorry, got discussion? No, Councillor Webster,
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor?
and I'm in favor. Carried.
That council accept the action correspondence received from Jason Miller as information.
Do we need a resolution for that? Yes?
I would like one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mover, Councillor Webster, second by Councillor Humphreys. Any discussion? Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Humphreys,
In favor?
Councillor Webster,
In favor?
and I'm in favor, carried.
That council went into a closed session meeting at 5:16 PM to discuss the following items pursuant to section 239(2) C and E of the Municipal Act. C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Recreation, and E, litigation or potential litigation, Farrell's Landing.
Need a mover to move into close. Councillor Webster, second by Deputy Mayor Campbell. All in favor?
In favor?
Oh, sorry. Councillor Humphreys,
In favor?
Councillor Carew,
In favor?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
In favor?
Councillor Webster,
In favor?
and I'm in favor.